Shut the hell up! Shut up! Shut up!
Throughout my 11 years on YouTube, one of the things that I hear over and over are the demand for videos that I've made in the past, because I've deleted videos, gotten rid of them, and at this point they're long gone. And being the fabulous water sign that I am, we love to tell a story over and over, so it just never gets old. And with that said, in this video today, I'm going to tell you the story of my 7th grade history teacher, Miss Milton. But before we get started, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you are new to this channel watching this, welcome. If you're someone who blocked me in the past or someone who's just back, welcome back. I would really appreciate if you would subscribe and click that notification bell just so that you will be up to date with all the videos that I have coming for you. And you might as well hit that like button because it's gonna be good. Picture it. I was 11 years old and I had just gotten into middle school, and I was in the GT, Gifted and Talented program, of course. And I mean, I was a nerd, so I mean, it just goes without saying. So, you know, you had your GT and your accelerated kids. Of course, the GT kids were better. That's just how it was. And being that it is a middle school, I spent my 7th and 8th grade year there. I had a lot of great teachers, but this teacher just, you know when you just have one of those teachers that you just can't forget? It's like herpes, it just never goes away, always comes back. And that's Miss Milton. So at the time, I was a not so fabulous 11-year-old boy / girl, and I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what was going on. There was a lot of confusion. And the one thing that I had was school. School was something that was very easy to me, came natural. I loved to read.
Oh yes, I love to read.
I was Matilda, like Matilda with a bald fade, and I loved school. And when I initially got my schedule, my brother, he actually saw, you know, just a list of teachers, and he was like, oh, he's like, I had Miss Milton too. And I was like, oh, is she great? And he's like, no, he's like, she's crazy. So that wasn't exciting, but I was still excited for school because school was awesome. Such a nerd. But nerds are cool. And I want to say, I'm trying to be nice about this, but y'all know me. I have to be completely honest with you. So I want to like create the picture for you. I wouldn't say she was a high yellow bone. She wasn't a high yellow bone, but she was probably like, I'd say like a warm caramel, like something like that. And she was very petite. She was probably maybe, my memory of her, she was like maybe 5'2", maybe. She probably weighed maybe about 79, 85 pounds. And the alleged bat that carried coronavirus to the entire world, if that bat bit into an ant, that would be Miss Milton. Like, she had like these like deep brown eyes. I would say her eyes were black. She always had a perm, hair really short to her head, and it was like gelled on the side, and it would be like really shiny. And oh, Miss Milton. But I will say that she was very well dressed. She always dressed very well. She always had her stockings right. She had her dresses right. She would wear suits. Like she was impeccably dressed. She always dressed well. I'm sure the outfits were from Sears or Foley's at the time. If you're old, you understand me. Mervyn's perhaps, something elegant like that. But she looked good. Well, I mean, she didn't look good, but her outfits looked good. Did I mention that her teeth were kind of rotting as well? I really don't want to be mean about this, but I have to tell it the way it is. That's what I remember, y'all.
Oh, and I totally forgot to mention this, y'all, but her makeup, oh my God, my God, my God. So like I said, she was like caramel, like she was probably like an NC40, but yeah, she wore more like NC30, NC25, something like that. Like it was like full coverage foundation, but like still ashy, like it was really odd, especially for an 11-year-old. And she always wore red lipstick. My money's on Ruby Woo, old crusty ass lipstick. But yeah, I literally just thought about this at the last minute, so I just wanted to throw this in here because I want y'all to have the full picture. Keep watching the video. Bye.
So I get to the class, she introduces herself. Everything seems fine at first, like there's no problems and there's nothing strange initially. However, there was this one thing about her that I'm not making up. I swear to God that this is 100% true. Anyone who has had Miss Milton can tell you that this is true. Beyond everything I've described with regards to her appearance, she had an affliction of sorts. She had this stutter, and the stutter was just, I've never heard a stutter like this in my life. And I have nothing against people who stutter. So, you know, this is not to make fun of her. It really isn't. But this is just a story that it needs to be told. So it wasn't, like I said, like a typical stutter. She had this thing where it was like a stutter coupled with Tourette's. I don't really know. Like, I don't know how to describe this, but she would do like this odd clicking sound, and I don't know, like it was like, I don't understand. And whenever she did the sound, like everybody would like start looking around the room like aliens were landing or something. Like you didn't know what was happening, especially if she was at her desk to do it. It's like she would build up to a crescendo or something. Like if she had something to say that was really important, well, important to her, she would always build up to it with a clicking sound. It would always be this click. It was not that long into this class. It was maybe 2 weeks, I'm gonna say. So we were in class reading, and, you know, reading aloud. And so, you know, we go from student to student to read a paragraph, right? And one of the people in the class, her name is Shayla, and not Makeup by Shayla because I don't know her.
Die kenne ich nicht. Oops.
But her name was Shayla. And, you know, being that we're 11, you know, even though this is a GT class, that doesn't mean that you know every particular word. You don't know how to pronounce everything correctly. I mean, I did. I'm lying. So the time came up for Shayla to read. And I don't remember exactly what she said as far as everything before what I'm about to say. I don't remember what she said, but the 3 words that she said, the words were with great rapidity. I know she brought like her upbringing with her when she came to class because, I mean, it's class and there's a certain way to act in class, and this is a GT class, so there's certain things that are expected and not expected. And and so she read the line and she said it just like this: with great rapidity. And she said it, she was like bumping her neck with it. Like she was like, with great rapidity. I mean, like, why does she have such an attitude about it? I'm like, this is history class. Like we were talking about the Trail of Tears or something. I'm like, there's no time for that. So when she said that, like when she was like rapidity, like I knew that the word was rapidity. So I had this thing like, and it's just the way I was raised. My dad would correct me with every word I mispronounced. So it's this thing that has carried on to my adult life, and I still do it to this day, and I piss people off. Like I piss my partner off all the time because I'm always correcting words that he mispronounces. And it's just one of those things, you know? And when she said it, I knew it was wrong. And so being that the way she said it, and I knew it was wrong, I just busted out laughing. And mind you, like I said, I was a nerd in school. I wasn't somebody who got in trouble. I always had, you know, E's on my reports for like, you know, being excellent and not being a bad kid. I never ever got an S, an N, or a U. A U was just not an option. Like an S wasn't an option for me, which was satisfactory, like as far as like how you behave. So I would not be the type of person who would do that. Like I was always the kid, because I'm a Cancer, I was always the kid who would get other people in trouble and manipulate them so that I could get them in trouble and make myself look good. Because, I mean, I was such a shady. So, and you know, speaking of that, and this boy Ross who looked like a milk carton. Anyway, let me just continue the story. I couldn't hold it in. People are looking at me, Shayla's looking at me, and the class went silent. And I was a shy kid. I was always a shy kid. I hated talking in front of people. I would like, you know, sweat and get super nervous and start breaking like my words up and like breathing all heavily just because I was so nervous to have the attention on me. My, things have changed. You know, and I had my head down when I laughed, and then when I looked up, everybody's staring at me. And that's when it started. And she had this thing where if she called your house, she would put your name on the board and she would put the number of your mama on the board, and then she would tell you that she would call you, that she gonna call your mama house. And she would say, I'ma call your mama house. Like it wasn't, I'm going to call, like she got ghetto. Like that was the only time she wasn't like classy, I guess. She would always say, I'ma call your mama house. All of a sudden, this is all I heard. Boy, 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 bright, bright. Don't you laugh. Don't you laugh, Shayla. Boy, I'ma call your house. And by this point, I was like, oh my God, like, cause then she had like put my name on the board and then like I started crying. Like, it was humiliating. Like, I literally just started crying because I just heard that clicking sound and I was like, uh-oh. Cause she'd be like, boy. I was like, say it. But yeah, she called my house and my mama beat my ass. And removed from course obligations, I didn't do anything else in that class.
Oh my God, I totally just remembered this. I think this was the second time and the last time I got in trouble, because I remember I got in trouble once, but I did get in trouble for this as well. On this other occasion, we were talking about Peru or something, and you know, the capital of Peru is Lima, and she started doing that clicking thing. She was like, Lima, and she said Lima, and I was like, Lima, and that's what I said. Like, I literally said it out loud. I was like, Lima. I was like, ain't no damn Lima. So yeah, I got in trouble for that too. I wanted to include that. Just watch.
It's still funny. Like, cause she'd be like, boy, like it was like a chicken. Like, I don't. Oh, Miss Milton. So yeah, that's the story of Miss Milton. You know, when I got in trouble, like, it just taught me that I shouldn't make fun of people, but it still continued, but in secrecy. So that's different. So yeah, that's my story. I wanted to bring this back because so many people have literally sent me messages, and even someone left a comment on a recent video I just did, just mentioning Miss Milton because she's iconic. I mean, it's just one of those things you just don't forget. I mean, like, I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely leave a comment below. What's one of the funniest teachers that you had? Or did they have some weird quirks? Or just tell me a story down below in the comments about a teacher that you had, or even an amazing teacher you had. I had some amazing teachers throughout just elementary school, middle, high school, all of it. I had some amazing teachers, like my teacher D-Flow, like we called it D-Flow. She was my English 4 AP teacher. Like, she was awesome because she would literally just tell you the way it was. Or my pre-cal teacher, my pre-calculus teacher, Mr. S. I'm gonna call him Mr. S because I don't want to put him on blast. But he was somebody who he was just awesome white dude, great teacher. And I remember one time he walked into class and he was like, "What's up, my?" When he said it, all the black people were like, wait a minute, but it was Mr. S, so it was funny at the time. So like, we gave him, he kind of had a card, like he was invited to the cookout, so it was cool, like we allowed it. So we were like, it's cool, it's cool. I may even tell you the story about my teacher, Miss Kim. She was actually a substitute teacher that we made cry and then we all got in trouble. Like, that's another story, which is a mess. And it may be a little offensive to people, but then again, this may be offensive to some people. It's 2020 and people get offended about everything. So anyway, this was not, like I said, this is not something to offend people. This is to just lighten the mood, tell you a little funny story from, you know, of course, someone who's in their 30s, but I'm telling you a story from an 11-year-old boy/girl who just was immature. And, you know, as an adult, if I heard her today and if she did that, like if she was like, I mean, like, you know what? I probably would laugh, but that's just because I have the memories, okay? Definitely rate, comment, subscribe, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed this memory. I'm going to be doing some video remixes, so to speak. I'm just coining that. Just doing like a video remix, just bringing you back videos that are stories that I've told in the past, like my high school crush, Muhammad. I definitely want to tell that story again. It's something I still cannot forget to this day, and I remember a lot of people liked it. So if there are any other videos that I've done in the past that you would like me to remake in 2020, definitely let me know. I need some ideas for videos. I have a lot of things coming, but new ideas help. You know, a Q&A, something like that. Definitely leave the comments below, and I'll be back with a whole lot more, guys. Peace. Okay, I don't even talk like that. Bye. Okay, I don't even talk like, okay, that was really gay. Bye, y'all. What? Hello? What? I'm gonna call your house.